And welcome back for another episode of Efferia Unshattered, the Black Sheep. I am your Dungeon Master, Nerd Hala. When last we met...
In this joke.
Uldren, would you like to give us a recap?
I guess I will. Yeah. Last time after some trauma bath, we made it to the droid circle in Nohala, where technically third red-headed elf showed up out of nowhere. This one, friendly, I guess?
And sexy.
Sure.
But you didn't make out with this one.
Again, it was a lick, not a kiss. I know it's not any better. And it was
Why
a
did it
frog.
start like this?
I bet you're wondering how I ended up here. But he introduced himself as Dorian Oakenheart, or as some might say, Dorian Oakenheart.
Dorian Oakenheart!
And he had some information about Cinderella that I'm definitely going to be looking into some more. But he apparently has known all of us for a long fucking time. And it seemed like our memories were obscured until he brought them back to us somehow. But then the leader of the circle, a dryad called Nivek, spoke to each of us. And as we were mentioning, my cousin Julian showed up with a few other flame elves. They were pretty quick after I messaged them, which is, I guess, a good thing. But apparently fate has been working at bringing us together to seal the Necronomicon in Hell's Door, which not really looking forward to going back to, but it's gotta happen sometime, I guess. We got a few gifts as well from Nivek. And Zedish apparently had a transformation that happened induced by a vision from Nivek. Following that, there was a bit of sparring between Zedish and Dorian, and apparently Dorian has a bear. That's a thing. But I did slip Dustin a bit of contingency before I was let off to prepare for a ritual, which ritual didn't exactly go according to plan, since according to plan, I was turned into a lycanthrope, but it turns out so was Ilyana, which was not part of the plan. And while it was happening, a literal sea of vampires started attacking, and now we're somewhere, and where the hell is Dustin?
All right. So you were in Norhala here. And now we find ourselves far to the eastern coast, just outside of a large keep. Let me move us to...
There was one other thing. Arapsis posed to them a different theory.
Feel free to enlighten
Sympathy
us.
for the devil, I believe,
That's
was
right.
her words.
That's right. So, you find yourselves down here. Having just run through the tree and finding yourselves on a road leading up to a large stone keep. And you look around you, You immediately notice that Dustin is not amongst you. Also, you have 2 lycanthropes in your midst, huddled on the ground.
Well, that's not something you experience every day.
Tetish, this wasn't the plan.
Don't look at me. I didn't tell him to become a werewolf.
No, that's not what I mean. And Rapsus's arm is like out, kind of just watching and waiting. And they're like perched up on the front of their feet, obviously ready to bolt in either direction.
You can tell with your passive remind me what your passive insight is. I know your passive perception, but what's your passive insight, Arapsis?
17 as well.
Okay, so yeah, you would notice that these lycanthropes are changed, however, do not seem to be hostile to you at this time. They seem to be kind of collecting themselves.
Yeah, and it's that collecting themselves period that doesn't mean Arapsis is calm yet. Arapsis is aware that it takes a minute after these sorts of things to become accustomed to things, but doesn't know what this one is. So hey, let's just be supportive from here.
Yeah, Ilyana's on the ground. The one you assume is Ilyana on the ground, knees to chest, just kind of rocking, while the one you believe to be Uldren huddled over her.
I am going to cautiously and slowly approach who I think is Uldren. Okay, easy now. Friends, yes?
I feel like, elves, so Uldren already had, like, decent senses, but, like, with the werewolf thing, like, it's increased. So he like, because of just reaction, he just snaps his head towards Zedish. But he, kind of takes the woman and then, like, slowly stands up.
Where's Dustin?
Like I said, not to plan.
He didn't follow me through the portal. He was right behind me, and then he wasn't.
It is
I
about
was
this.
trying to be last, and you decided that I wasn't going to be, so I don't know.
The direction you all just came from, you look behind you and see Dorian approaching. A few minutes after all of you.
I see you made it finally.
Do you know where Dustin's at?
No. But I see that someone decided to fully take part of the ritual and finish it out.
Well, you know what they say. Necessary bedfellows and those sorts of things.
Unless it's the one thing that gets you killed constantly, because you're an elf.
Araps is just like, oh, well, look at that. Something to get you killed. Fancy that.
I don't know where Dustin went.
So your spies are not quite everywhere. I guess that's one thing to know.
Only where they were. And we took part of the other parts
they were.
before we had to leave. So now we're here. We should probably head in.
We should probably collect ourselves and have a conversation about what here is and what that means.
Do we know anywhere where we're at exactly? GM?
You believe, given what you asked Navek to send you. There we go. I can test words. You believe that this should be Guild Glen Keep on the far west coast of Efferia. A few days travel south of Riversmeet.
But this means that there's someone here who got a copy of that book from Bacchomel. So, we know that this person was at least close to her for some time. I don't propose just waltzing in. Just because we are freed from the tag that we had from her doesn't mean we should just run in and announce ourselves. Why don't we have a plan?
I think knock knock, we're here, open up is a very good plan.
looks at him, looks at Uldren. Looks at him, looks at Uldren. Then just kind of looks back at Zedish. Are you helping here?
I can't say I disagree with Dorian over here. Knock knock, kick the door in. Let's get the book and let's go.
Allow me to explain something a little simpler about my disposition of things. I cannot simply walk in.
Oh, we know. They'll invite us.
Again, looks at him, looks at Uldren. Looks at him, looks at Uldren.
I
I'm gonna
think
start walking.
if we're all on our best behavior, it will be fine and everyone will be invited and it'll be a good time.
But that's the problem. Best behavior is subjective.
I'm gonna turn and start walking away towards the door, the gate, or whatever it is. But as I'm looking back, I'm gonna get a weird smirk on my face and look at Uldren and go, "Heal, boy," and then walk.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Dorian, as Ilyana launches herself at you for that.
That
21.
Yeah,
Can you give us Ilyana's growl for that?
No.
Yes. That look. It's the look that's everything for me.
Anyway, so yeah, she goes to attempt to swipe at you and stumbles, still kind of adjusting to her new physiology.
And I leap away and dodge it. I'm like, well, you want to stay like that? You can stay like that.
Tim has moved over here to check on our now very furry pals. And he just lays a hand on Uldren, the one he thinks is Uldren's shoulder. Are you two okay? Do you need anything?
I'm gonna try and kind of like during the ritual, kind of like try and focus, but like on what I know to be my mind.
Okay.
And try and bring that back to the front rather than whatever is going on right now.
All right, give me a wisdom check.
Okay. That's great.
You are struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard to find that balance between that which you are and that which you were.
Yeah, I think as confused as a big dark werewolf can look, Uldren is looking kind of confused at the moment.
Can I insight to try and figure out anything that they might need? Like, did this ritual take a lot out of them physically? Maybe they need a snack.
Yeah, go for it.
$28.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ilyana is essentially in shock, and Uldren looks like he needs to punch something.
Tim is going to go ahead
Or stab
and
something.
first, he's going to pull out some beef jerky for both of them, and he's going to lay it near them, not put his hands anywhere near their mouths. Here, try eating something. That can help center you. And then he pulls out his lute and just plays a little gentle tune, something calming, soothing, and tries to help them remember being humanoid, or more humanoid.
All right, Uldren, go ahead and make another check, this time at advantage.
Come on, don't fuck me. And actually roll, please. Hello? There we go. Much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
The music
I'm definitely
seems...
wolfing down half
Yes.
of the jerky.
Yeah.
And then Tim will also help Ilyana catch her feet since she just flubbed.
Yeah.
And yes.
Oh, I got to
There you
roll
go.
for her too.
You'll get used to this form eventually. But
Why did...
For now.
Ilyana's
Oh.
really struggling. Uldren, you can tell that she is losing herself to this for the moment. She is having a really hard time centering herself.
Am I able to turn back, or am I still stuck like this? At the
I would
moment?
say that you are... Give me a wisdom save at advantage, given your wisdom check.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's good.
All right. Yep. Yeah, you are able to shift back into your elven form.
Yeah. So I definitely crank back down and just take her face with one hand, and with the other one I'm gonna reach into my armor and pull out the wedding ring that Uldren has kept all this time and show it to her like, Selma, come back.
All right. Let her roll this time. Better. Yeah, her breathing starts to settle, and her eyes seem to kind of shift more to the silver that you're used to, and she kind of just takes a hold of your arms. She's just like, I don't know what to do.
Just think back to how it was before.
Back
to
to
Walker,
what it was.
remember who you are. And the song will slowly morph into, I just died in your arms tonight. It was the last song I played for her. Come on.
All right. There it goes. Okay.
I just couldn't walk away.
She does manage,
should've walked
after a
away.
little bit, to shift back into her elven form. And gets up to her feet and looks at the rest of you. Just says, "Thank you. That was what the fuck, Uldren? You didn't say anything about me changing."
No one said anything about you changing.
Accurate, actually. That was not part of the plan.
There are older magics in the world that will often tie two people to each other in confusing ways. Perhaps it's something to do with that.
Well, actually, I guess you have to put 2 and 2 together in this situation. What did they say before? Fates conspiring and all of that.
And Tim will pull out the half-full bottle of wine and say, "Here, settle your nerves with a sip." I'm telling you, wine fixes everything. Come on.
Ilyana grabs it out of your hand and just tips it back and starts chugging.
Oh, not too much. Just enough to settle the nerves. Just enough
Technically,
to easy.
Puts a finger out, just chug. To like
Okay.
shut the fuck up.
No, I think this entire situation started with a bottle of wine, actually. So one might argue that wine might not be the greatest solution here, so...
She tips it
but
back
you are
down,
admitting it is a solution.
wipes her mouth on the back of her hand, and holds the bottle out to Uldren. What remains?
I'll just take like a gulp from it and hand it back to Tim.
He'll take a swig off of it. Offer the last couple of sips if anybody wants it to Zedish or Arapsis.
I'm gonna take the bottle and start walking and drinking.
Excellent. Headed up towards the door.
It's there,
yeah, the rest will follow.
So then the plan is we are just knocking on the door and saying hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, technically, the book is supposed to be mine, so... Haha.
Remember what Nivek said. The book isn't here. He has a copy in his head.
Yes. And it should, in some way, read like a letter to me.
It is at this time, as you approach, Uldren, Arapsis, you would notice the figures perched along the top of the entrance to this keep. Winged, horned creatures made of stone. Not moving. Just... You've seen some of these before. Actually, Uldren, roll me history.
Let me just give you a flat D20. It's not great.
You feel like you may have seen something like this before, but you can't remember where. They have an air of familiarity to them.
Dorian, you look like you know where you're going here. Are those supposed to be here?
Any clue, GM?
Roll me history at advantage.
Let me. There it goes.
I believe in you.
Anything called love?
These are very similar. Gargoyles are not uncommon architecture in Efferia. However, The most famous ones are those that sit atop the ramparts of Nymorn Castle, the capital.
Sweet. I turn around and goes, they might attack us. They might not. Let's find out.
One moment.
Full of reassurance, this one is.
Yeah.
Do I have... I thought I have... No, I do not. Damn it.
What?
I was thinking that I had the group invisibility spell.
Nope.
Nope. Damn it.
Nice try, though.
It would have been great. Just walk up to the door invisible.
Yeah, famous
Wait a
last
minute,
words.
wait a
Let's find
minute,
out.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You got something for this? Do 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 do. Oh 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 oh
Uh-huh.
oh. Okay okay
Yeah, I
okay
do.
okay.
Yeah. I was going to
Yeah,
suggest
dude.
that as well. I just don't know how we want to approach this.
That's why I was like, I mean, we
Yeah.
might as well do a stealthy.
This is an option, yeah. Yeah, Uldren does gets in pace with Arabsis and I should thank you, I think.
I look back at Zedish and go,
Oh.
come on.
I saw her, and I point up to the sky during the ritual. Yeah. She
Why is
doesn't
that?
look like she's doing too good.
Oh. Well,
Do you want to live forever?
I guess that you could consider that good news, technically. Because,
She helped.
well, yes, and that is the point. It means that she has not been helping this.
As
So
you
technically,
go ahead.
a glimmer of hope. Pat, pat.
As you all approach, Ilyana suddenly stops and puts her hand on Zedish's arm and goes, "Wait. I've seen these before. They're not just statues. And they are deadly. We should be as quiet as possible."
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm glad that I was on that foot.
All right. Group stealth check.
So currently the only one that is visible is Dorian.
As I knock on the door.
Well,
Let's
Dorian
roll a
needs to
stealth
roll
check.
pass without a trace, or we got pass without a trace, so we've got stealth plus 10.
So
It's a good thing, too.
Wow,
He stays-
that's a
if
2
he
on my
stays-
dice for me.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what the trace. If he stays within 30 feet of Arabsis.
I'm not within 30 feet.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I am right on the edge.
Ilyana just
Jesus
straight up
Christ.
disappears. Even Uldren doesn't know where she
Jesus
went.
Christ.
Nice.
I rolled without the pass without trace, so I have a 30 stealth right now.
She has a 45.
Damn.
So Ilyana
Jesus
just
Christ.
blips out of existence. So yes, with a 19 plus, let me, it probably would help if I, brought up the encounter so I can roll for these creatures. Because,
No, it's
smart
okay.
things. Shush your face.
I mean, it's decent rolls, Arabsis got a 19.
Yeah. Well, I think the
Good,
group
so they should
average is well
28 to
above
30.
20, so I think you're okay. And gargoyles are not... Oh, except that Arapsis is the only one they notice because they rolled a nat 20.
Oh.
Which is exactly 1 point above Arapsis' stealth rolls. So Arapsis, you watch as 6 heads turn your way. And eyes flash red.
I'm used to the horny ones seeing me!
That's not good. I'm gonna draw the spear.
Missed.
All right.
See me where?
They start looking around. Dorian, you can hear the sound of stone on stone as they move.
Hot stone on stone action.
God damn it, shut up!
That's all right. We got protection.
Do we?
Maybe.
I have protection from good and
Stones
evil.
are available in your area.
All right, Dorian, you arrive at this front gate, and it is
Rock hard.
it is locked.
I knock on the door.
The boulder is ready.
You are knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You knock on the door, and 2 gargoyles land behind you, and the others start to move in your direction along the roof, peering down over the top of it.
I'm gonna start moving in quietly.
I'm gonna turn around and look at him. Hey, just need to talk to, I can't remember the guy's name. that's in
Morvik.
Here. What was it? Morvik. Here to talk to him about a book. Tried knocking, but guess it's not happening. You want to tell him that I'm here?
They must be French gargoyles.
What, because they hiss?
Saucy couldn't nick it.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
there
couldn't
it
hear you hiss. I couldn't hear you hiss.
Oh,
Yeah, your mic cuts that out.
oh, boo.
You can turn off noise suppression.
Rar.
Yeah.
Rar. They go
Can't wait to
rar.
hear lemon on
Rawr. I'm
I
gonna get you.
I'll have to get used to this new mic. It's fine. So yeah, no, they let out like a rumbling hiss and bare their teeth at
All
you.
right. I'm not going in. I'm just knocking, trying to get advice. And I like take my swords and take the hilts and dunk 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 with try to get him to someone to answer. Hello, Morvik, we're here. Need
2
to talk
more
to you.
land on the bridge behind you.
I'm facing them.
You see, this isn't working. So the mist form starts going around you all like, this isn't working. It's totally not working.
You watch as more start to clamber over the roof from the other side of the gate. The more you knock, the more that show up.
I'm in your crevices.
Not that crevice.
Is there any other opening in sight?
With your passive perception, no, you do not see one.
Hey, can you let your master know that we're here? I mean, we're not going in. We're just trying to talk to him. As we pretend that you're hissing again.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't want to pick it up.
You may have to go away from your mic to get that.
I
Like, sit
am.
back and... There we go.
There you go.
I got that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spit there. Yeah.
Dying.
Well, if nothing else, Tim can give them a second target. So Tim is going to stop stealthing, and he's going to go, "Fell beasts, over here."
And they roll initiative as they start to charge Tim. So we will roll.
Yes.
Damn,
Okay.
dude. Jeez. Oh, I didn't have my token selected when I rolled it. Sorry.
Damn it, Tim!
Neither did I.
Damn it.
Okay, you got a 9.
Let me roll it again. Or you want to put me in as 23?
Yeah, I'll put you in at 23.
Okay.
All right. Uldren, you're up for... Oh, I forgot to roll for Ilyana. 1 second. I knew I forgot somebody. All right. Uldren, you're up first.
So I have a question before I go.
Yes.
Does anyone have anything that they can or want to do quickly in this fight? Because I can swap initiative with someone.
Give me a second. I don't think there's anything I need to do. Nope.
Not that I can think of. I think we're good.
Okay. In that case, the walls, like, let's say the walls around here, does it look like it just leads straight to another level right away, or like walk?
There's
Like
a rampart.
To make rounds. Okay, so someone could make the rounds on the rampart.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action dash and use my climbing speed to Assassin's Creed my way up to here.
Okay.
I'm gonna climb up on the chain here and then just hanging down from the ledge.
All right, roll me
And just make
acrobatics.
my way here. Don't fuck me. Okay.
Yeah,
22.
yeah.
Not bad.
I will say that is successful. So you get up
All right.
to, let's see, 1. Yep. Oops. Let me get you. There you go.
Okay. Do I see any more gargoyles?
Not from there. However, you can see into, I'm going to just put you here for a second. You can see into a very large courtyard.
Okay. Thank you. Is the door I'm seeing... Well, I'm going to come up to the door, actually. So it'll be... if I'm, like, on the door, I'm at basically 70 or 75 feet, so I still have 5 feet past that. Is the door locked if I try to turn the knob?
No, it is not.
Okay. I'm gonna... So yeah, that puts me at 75. I still have 5 feet. Do I see any kind of mechanism or trigger system?
Yes,
or
we'll say there's one
in
here.
This room? Okay.
In this corner.
I'm
There
gonna use my action to dash as
there's like
well.
a big lever switch.
Okay, I'm gonna use my action to dash.
Okay.
Which I can easily make it there.
All right.
Would I interact with the switch?
I will
Or
allow
would
that
be
as a
on the
free
next?
action, yes.
Okay, I will
All
Yonker
right.
switch.
And that will unlock the door. All right. Dorian, you're up.
Do I hear the door the door unlock?
Yes, with your passive perception, yes.
Step inside.
All right.
You'll have to move me. And as I step in, I go, run.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to move over to the side so if anything comes in, I can get a swipe at it and get out of the way of anybody coming in.
All right. Let me roll stealth for Ilyana again. Yep, she's fine, especially with Pass Without a Trace. So Uldren just barely feels somebody brush past him.
Wouldn't I be on the upper floor? Because I was on the rampart.
Oh, yeah, you would be. You're right. So, Dorian, you're technically on the lower level.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here, I'm just gonna mark Uldren that there we go. He's on the upper level, everybody else. So, but yeah, Ilyana's gonna go right in the front door then and gets to here. Arapsis, you're up. You are in mist form.
Okay. So I believe I can essentially use my action to turn into a person.
Okay.
And then it's let's see. Oh no, wait. If I just whoop. No, now do the curve. Why is it why will you not do the thing? There we go. And can I continue to walk along the edge of this bridge?
Yeah.
Because I've got 55 feet of movement.
Are you gonna go up the chain or just along the edge of the bridge?
Well, it's my hope, depending on the elevation, that I can get in where people went.
Okay.
But if people are too close, then I'll drop and continue this direction because I'm planning on using my bonus action dash.
Yeah, you would be able to get in to here.
Great. Because, yeah, once even to there, I can, if I actually step with the wind with a focus point, I can always dash and disengage as well for a total of 110 feet.
All right. Zedish, you got a bunch of gargoyles in your face.
I do. However, the door is right there. So I'm going to boogie my way on past them.
All right. A few of them are going to take attacks of opportunity.
Even though stealth?
Roll me stealth, because this is a new round.
Gotcha.
You could potentially action disengage.
Well, that's a 20 stealth. They're not going to see her unless they roll another nat 20. So let me roll this. No, they got a 9. They have no clue you're there. So you're in here.
Yeah.
All right, and it is the gargoyles' turn. They're gonna turn and surround
Yeah, we left Tim outside.
Tim.
It's fine.
And they're gonna
take care of himself.
drop down off the roof, covering the bridge.
Also, real quick, they have an 11 dex.
Yes.
Because I have an 18 dex.
Yeah.
And we both got 9s.
Yep.
Shouldn't I go just before them?
Oh, that's true. You would. Okay, so yeah, you would have run in there. And then they all drop down and start looking for people as you close the door.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to run inside.
Oh, the fuck were you going to do? God damn it! Fine.
I was
Fuck
going to
your
use my
exposition.
unbreakable majesty.
Oh, what does that do?
No, wait, unbreakable. Yeah, unbreakable majesty. While your unbreakable majesty is active, whenever a creature hits you with an attack roll for the first time on a turn, the attacker must make an 18 charisma saving throw or the attack misses.
He just walks in.
I was also
I'm
going
too
to go ahead
beautiful
and
to be
use
hit.
my Mantle of Majesty. As a bonus action, I can cast command without casting it and take an
Okay.
unearthly appearance for a minute or until concentration ends. You can use this feature once per long rest or by expending a level 3 spell slot.
They all look at
so-
you and go, the claw!
Mantle of Majesty, he bursts into flames and starts hovering above the ground.
No.
And he casts command at one of them
Okay.
without casting and says, rest.
It falls over and just kind of plops on its butt.
And then I go ahead and walk past them.
All right.
And then I go inside. I
And
still
shut the
appear to
door.
be on fire and hovering.
All right. Uldren, you hear the door close below you.
I'm gonna pull the lever back up, see if that locks it, hopefully.
It does.
Okay, cool.
He's still not good with sticking with us, you know?
All right. Any movement?
Is there any other opening than the 2 doors up here?
We'll say that there is a stairwell that spirals down from that level.
Okay. I'm gonna boom, 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 my way down.
Okay. Make a boy.
All right, everyone inside.
Everyone's
So
inside.
it seems
As far as I could tell, the courtyard up ahead is clear. A bit too clear, maybe. There's literally no one in.
Tim says I should check it out.
Can
can't
can
be it
we
right now.
can we please take a moment to stop? Can you? None of you, really. After that, you're not going to take a moment to pause and think about this.
No, as I go to the door.
Not really, no.
We weren't exactly expecting resistance, and we met a lot of resistance. I agree with it taking
and
a
that's
second.
the point. They're keeping him in.
Then it's a rescue mission.
Is it? Are you sure? Rescuing whom? Exactly.
He starts playing a song. I want you to rescue me. Oh, rescue
start dancing.
me.
I start dancing with them, and I do like a little moonwalk out the back door, and point at him as I'm walking out.
You know, I feel like most of the world blames us and thinks that we helped unleash a great evil along the world. And here I am saying, you know, this might be a great evil. Maybe we shouldn't unleash it upon the world. I just want to revisit this later on in case something goes wrong, okay? Great. Wonderful. Noted.
we'll put a
Good.
pin in that, and we'll keep going and find our answers.
I will be sure to note that in my book of history that you were the cautious one. Thank you.
Great. We have such a great track record.
Ilyana turns to Uldren. Oh, your friend's always this divided.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, because some of us like to punch people we're trying to rescue, and some of us simply try to rescue them.
Some of us do both.
They're not wrong. And Ilyana follows after Zedish.
As I'm walking by, I'm going to place a hand on Arabsis's shoulder and like, this time, let's make sure that we don't let anyone near the person we're interrogating, so that there's no exploding heads, and figure out what the fuck is going on here.
You know, if these people are so quick to condemn my father for the same thing,
Hey, Zedish,
maybe
check
they
out that
should
thing on the left.
They should think about this same kind of rescue.
Left?
Yeah. Go around and check out that.
Zedish,
Let's get some
you see
information.
a structure that looks much like a stable.
Anything in there?
Oh, good, because we're a little unstable.
Zedish, roll me perception.
Hey, we could be a little hoarse.
Oh.
But shh.
Hey.
A bunch of
You
jackasses.
hear the sound of several small creatures moving around.
Small.
What?
I'm gonna peek
Did
my
you
head
say
in.
nay?
No. Zedish, you see a bunch of small creatures that look like this. Oop, wait, no, I sent that to myself. You cannot see it.
That
Hold
looks
on.
bad.
Oh, wait, you can see it?
Thanks,
I
me.
can see it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I can see
I
it.
don't know.
I can't see it.
In the side chat?
Oh, in the side chat.
Oh, I thought you were on the big screen.
In roll 20. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a small
thing.
creature. Are you sure that's a small creature?
There are, yes, you can see at least two right here.
They're cute little nurglings.
And they're just
Aw.
like, none of that, any of it.
I am
Yeah.
going to slowly walk away.
You see anything?
You don't want to go in there.
Oh, finally, something you don't want to hug.
Anything we need to kill, or just leave it alone?
They
Leave it alone for now.
don't even remotely notice you.
Okay.
Leave it alone for now. We don't need to worry about it.
Do you
Because-
think he milks them?
Yeah, you want to?
I don't even want to think about that. Do I see anything on the ramparts around us, like at the keep itself? Anything
You see
even vaguely
lights. You
threatening?
see lights coming from the keep, but you see nothing on the ramparts.
Tim, check those windows on the left.
Your camera's frozen, by the way, Kate.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Huh. That's new. You had such a
Uldren, check the door. Tim,
Okay.
check the windows on the left-hand side.
I'm gonna tactical next to the door. Like wall, back to the wall.
I
know,
have
it's
no
kind of
stealth at
funny.
the moment. I am a flying torch.
Pretty much.
You know, it's kind of funny. We find ourselves in a courtyard, staring at a stable and a corral. I can't help but miss Dustin a little.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
Uldren,
Anybody see anything?
Over here.
I was
Yes.
gonna say
from where
I'm
you
thoroughbred,
are,
that's what you say.
you and Ilyana kind of make eye contact for a moment, and she motions towards the door, the front door to this building, and you hear a inconsistent step, like someone is stepping and dragging their other foot, and the sound of something metal striking a stone floor as they do so.
Is she motioning that that's coming to the door, or for me to open the door?
coming to the door.
Okay. I will hold my spear and ready an attack if whatever is hostile to any of us.
She's going to also ready her short swords on the other side of the door.
I will hand motion towards Zedish and Arabsis because they're the only ones left anywhere near that
Pick up a
something's coming.
pebble and throw it at Tim.
He looks at you.
I mean, I go.
Where did you go?
I'll hold my hand up to stop.
Where are you? What the fuck? God damn it, Tori! There you are. It's me searching the map to figure out where the fuck you went.
Stop. I hold my hands up and go, stop, like this.
Yes, stop. Okay. Yes.
I don't even know where you are.
Zedish is going to point over to where they see Dorian.
Tim goes towards Dorian.
And then I tell Zedish. I look at Zedish and go, point over to them and make them like a move around the corner towards us area.
I'm going to kind of...
And I go like this and hold my fingers up to my lips and go, shh.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of wave this way.
I'm going to dispel my flame form so that I'm not so obvious anymore.
All right.
I'm going to give a nod to Ilyana and like point towards where everyone seems to be going right now, like with a very confused face.
Oh no, I thought we were just knocking on the bloody door. We were just waltzing in. Now we want to be all stealthy.
Do I hear that?
Oh. Both.
If I hear that...
As the front door opens, Arapsis, you see...
I'm literally picturing Arapsis like whining about it as the door fucking opens.
Yes.
Just like dim headlights.
Immediately it's just like, oh, well, finally, service we've been looking for.
And you see a finely dressed purple tiefling limping leaning heavily on a gold cane. May I help you?
Yes, I believe you're expecting me.
Kind of gives you a look up and down for a moment, strokes his goatee with his free hand, and then motions, kind of gestures for you to come in. Just like, come on, and turns around and just walks.
Does the window that I'm at, is it able to be opened?
It is currently locked.
Okay, I'm looking in. Is that who I think it is? What do I see?
Roll me history at advantage.
Oh, didn't roll with advantage, but I rolled a nat 20. How about that?
You know exactly who this is. That is Morvik.
I look at Zedish and motion. Come here.
Gonna get right next to Dorian.
And I see Tim, and I go, Tim, come here.
Yes, coming.
And you, Uldren and Ilyana, hear the sound of hooves on the stone as well as the cane as he is walking. Arapsis, as you walk in, you see several disembodied hands crawling along the floor, the stairs, just kind of skittering about the hall.
Right.
Right. Wonderful.
I'm gonna give Ilyana a shrug and walk in after Arapsis.
I'm going to follow directly in the exact line that this individual takes me now.
Yep.
No, yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
twitch
same
issue.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, unlock this window.
Is the window that I'm standing at locked?
Yes, it is.
Unlock this window.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Damn! Unlock this window.
just looks back and gives him this.
I just give a confused shrug. I don't know.
And
I think it's time we follow our friends inside. And Tim will go ahead and move south over here.
all right. You watch as the tiefling briefly knocks on a door, and you hear, "What? Wait!
You knock on the window.
Who are you?
Dorian, let me in. I'm here to help you.
Then she's gonna
Blandis!
wave.
Blandis, there's someone at my window."
Open it up.
He goes and hides in the corner as the door opens on the inside, and the tiefling steps in and gestures for you, the rest of you, to come in, and you see an office strewn with papers and figures and sigils and runes drawn all over the walls and different surfaces. It's real kind of hard to make out exactly what he's attempting to accomplish here, but these look to be the writings of a madman.
Knock on the window again. Uldren, let me in.
What the fuck are you doing?
Is he a friend of yours? Turns to Arapsis.
Well, I guess you could use that word.
Friend might be a strong term.
He goes over and sticks a hand out and to kind of let you in, give you a hand up.
Which is hilarious. Because we are like doom and gloom, and he's like the bright, angelic child knocking on the window to get in.
The front door is wide open.
Yeah, the window is too. See, as I climb through.
Didn't you say that we should just knock and ask to be let in?
Technically, that is what happened.
I did. See? I just took the shortcut.
Uldren, you watch as soon as Tim walks in the door, the human's eyes go wide and he starts to shake and tremble and starts just absolutely stuttering over his words and can't seem to get a sentence out.
I get in between. I get in between the two. Not again.
Tim Mortivar at your service, sir. And you are...
Morvik! My name is Morvik.
A pleasure, Morvik. Yes. Perhaps you can assist my friends here. And he gestures towards Arapsis. I believe you had a question for this fellow.
Actually, right now, in this moment, Uldren, does this look like what happened when you got to look at something that you couldn't read as well?
Does it?
Roll me Arcana or History.
Oh, wow. They're both a +0. I don't know which one I'm going to roll.
I believe in you.
I'm just going to roll a 4. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea what any of this is, so maybe.
Well, what if it's what happens when other people view a piece of Infernia?
It is the
That's
book.
concerning.
You've been trying to recreate the book so that I may better serve my master and get back into his good graces. I have betrayed him so. He has forsaken me.
Wonderful, wonderful, Reinfield. So, who exactly is your master?
You do not know.
More, I'm a little concerned. Help catch me up. How about that?
He starts looking like amongst all of you and looks at the purple tiefling and like almost as if asking for permission, and kind of looks over Zedish and Arapsis and skips over Uldren and Ilyana and Dorian and kind of looks right at Tim and goes, "Oh, he is the great Dark Lord. Master of us all."
So, Raz'athoth?
You dare speak his name?
Well, yes. Father tends to prefer those sorts of things from me, it seems. But,
And he you say father, and he just all of a sudden, like, launches himself towards the desk and starts ripping open drawers and rifling through them looking for something.
see, this was exactly the sort of thing that I thought might, occur, so that's why we're here. I believe that entire book is meant for me.
I lost the book. The stupid.
You lost it.
He took it. He stole it.
Who stole this book?
He comes by crow.
Oh?
He walks with death. I know not his name, but he stole it from me so long ago.
Interesting. How long ago would you say?
And you watch as he like rips open the chest of the robes that he's wearing, and you see cut marks all over his chest where he's been tallying the days, and there are hundreds of them.
Oh. So...
The master said I must wait here. It is my
Cursory-
punishment for losing the book. It is my
Cursory
penance.
glance. I can assume that this is the person that would have had it before Morgana had it.
More than likely.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, your master has told me that everything that I need to find for an answer is in that book. And I truly would like to help you get it out. I believe in your memory, and I believe in most of our ability to help. Most of our ability to help.
He looks at you, Arapsis, and suddenly just kind of clutches one of your hands like at the wrist with just clamps onto it with both hands, just like you are to be my salvation.
Well, in that way, then yes.
Let me die.
Oh. Well, that's a bit of a high request.
It all ends. It has gone on for so long, away from the master. I can no longer feel his influence. I just wish to serve him again. Death is the only way.
Now that's a feeling that I can understand. And they just kind of like reach out to his hand and just kind of grab it with their other hand and pat it. Sometimes when we've lived for so much of someone else, we forget what it is to try and live in those moments. You've spent so long living for the machinations of someone else, and now living punishment for that in your service. But we are trying to end something from others misusing that book. Everything outside is because of these actions. The only way that you can be free is by helping this. And if you can help us with some passages of this book, then we'll get you out of here. We'll free you.
I will do what I can. But I only know what she showed me. The book. But you are my master's child. So therefore, I will help you. Uldren.
Arapsis is going to sigh and roll up their sleeves.
Uldren, you are watching the one Morvik referred to as Vladis, and he has been watching over these proceedings with feigned interest. However, you do notice his eyes keep flicking between Arapsis, Zedish, and Tim.
I'm gonna try and subtly get Zadish's attention. I'm sure Ilyana will pick up on it easily. And if I can, kind of give them a bit of a suggestive glance towards Vladis. Like, we should keep an eye on that one, kind of thing.
Okay.
I've put the spear away, and I just have my hands on the hilts of my shoulder.
Okay.
The sword and the spear in this room is not going to be very practical.
Yeah.
Do I notice this?
What's your passive perception, Zedish?
Wait a second. Option is wisdom was 10. Oh, no, 14.
Okay. I would say, yeah, you just notice. Like, Uldren gets Ilyana's attention, and Ilyana kind of elbows you.
I'm going to kind of look over and do a nod towards both of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You watch as Morvik leaves the desk and moves around behind where Ilyana is standing, and opens a door and leads you into an adjoining room that appears to be a parlor of some sort. And you see, as you move into the room, that the walls are covered in murals. One that is, actually, I'll let everyone roll me history with Dorian with advantage.
Oh my fucking lord.
Oh, it went to a 19 to a 3.
All right.
We're just here to be himbos.
Uldren
you know?
and Zedish, you can tell that this is definitely depictions of war. It appears to be most likely the last infernal war. However, Tim, with that role, you would see this as the fall of Raz'athoth and his banishment to Infernia and the Void.
I'd share that information with the group.
Okay.
A rather classical representation, actually. You can notice the old school brushstrokes. The old forms.
One in particular catches your interest, though, Uldren and Zedish, with your roles. It is a depiction of a large winged red demon you assume to be Raz'athoth. However, there is a figure standing next to him in this particular mural, female, that you've never seen in any other depiction of Raz'athoth.
I want to go up and touch the mural. Observe it a little bit closer, see if there's anything that I can tell from it.
Morvik, no, don't! Like, as you go to touch it, and just as you touch it, the mural itself begins to animate. And you watch as the Raz'athoth figure plunges a dagger into the chest of the female and lays her down and picks up a book in its place, in her place.
Who's the female figure? I'm gonna turn and look at Morvik.
The right hand of the Dark Lord. That is his queen. General of the bloodied masses. That
Perhaps this is just gonna hit the next one.
the demoness Narcissa. And the next one, you watch as a figure that looks almost similar to Morvik holding the same tome that Raz'athoth had picked up in the previous mural. Basically, it seems almost as if he's running away from something, and a dark figure follows him, crows surrounding it, and eventually takes the book from him. And the mural shifts, and the figure approaches a female character and kneels before her, kisses her hand, and hands her the book, before she in turn plunges a knife into his chest.
The cycle continues.
Yeah, that psycho does continue.
Does that mean you have to stab him in the chest? And I point to Morvik.
Rapsis hits the next one.
And the last one shows what appears to be a sun elf bursting through a door, searching and finding the tome, leafing through it, transforming themselves into what you know to be Baccarin before fleeing with the book.
And that's what I thought. And now you've seen where the next time it was used. And who died.
Actually, that's interesting. It seems like whenever there's been a transference, previous owner of the book was stabbed, but Baccarat just grabbed it and ran. She didn't stab anyone. Do you think it could be some kind of flaw we can exploit? Or is the stabbing just ritual stuff?
Well, you are potentially correct. But this is something different. It changed at this point. Do you know who this woman is?
Which
I
one are you
do.
pointing to?
They're just tracing the hand of the female figure who gets the book. I know who this is. It's the same person I warned you of when we were in the Feywild. I told you then that there was someone that might try to come for me. It was this woman. The Ice Witch. she had the book. Ocarin's journal told me that that's where she got it from to begin with. That she was kept in the same way that I was. And that book was the only salvation that she found. That tells me that there's a possibility that this was the plan to begin with. Twisted as it may be. She did take the book, Ocarin, yes, but she also did a ritual to become a part of the darkness in that moment. Something that Morgana had not done. Maybe it's different, maybe it's not. It's a hope. It's also a hope that I could stab our wonderful new friend here and get the book myself.
Would. Okay. Couple questions here. I gesture to the mule.
Raxus smiles with really big vampiric fangs and says,
Perhaps stab isn't quite the word I should have used.
Morvik just kind of retracts a bit and pulls away from you.
So, I point to the mule. In this one, she gets stabbed and becomes the book or something, but I mean, are you that old? Or is what happened to you something that came after? Because if it came after, how if she became the book? And also, if you stab him, does he turn into the book, which means Bechdel doesn't have the book anymore? Or does it make a copy of the book? This is very confusing to me.
No, Uldren.
and Raxus just taps their head.
I suspect if I was to do that, I would become cursed the same way that our friend here is. I would have to take those visions upon myself.
Do you remember what Nivek said?
Which
About
part?
where the book is supposed to end up in the end?
Well, this is a copy.
I didn't even say the word. What the fuck?
Alexa's like, yes.
I was wondering what that was.
Always right. Tim will pipe in.
Books and things.
The legends speak of the Necronomicon being partially alive. Maybe that's what it means. She was sacrificed to complete the tome. There are many legends of this book. Wars have been fought for it. According to one story, wars among the gods themselves.
Well, Oh, bloody hell. Is that what started it? Morvik, have you been here since the Fey Demon War?
Yes, I remember the wars.
That would make you ancient.
Hells.
For losing the book, my master cursed me to live out my days, unable to die, away from his influence.
You know, again, I feel like having Dustin here in this moment would be a little helpful. You know, representative of death and all of that sort of thing.
EM question.
Yes?
When I spoke of where the book is supposed to end up, what was Gladys's reaction?
A narrowing of his eyes. And a glance towards Tim.
Somebody has a tiefling fetish.
It's very subtle. But he squints slightly and looks to his right, and then back at Morvik. You also notice his hand slip inside his own jacket, about chest level.
I am readying an attack if he tries anything. Any kind of spell casting, any kind of attack, I am on him.
Okay.
But in all of this, Morvik, everything that I have been told, all of it, is that I'm supposed to get that book. Whether it was my father saying it, whether it was the prophecies and everyone else, everything says I should have that book.
Well, it would be your birthright.
So, you understand in this moment that it's necessary for me to be able to understand everything that you know about it. Yes.
I've been shown many things. His grand plan, his quest for darkness.
Morvik, you understand that you live here, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. We have to end this eclipse. Now.
The book said nothing about an eclipse.
The book started it.
It showed me the lineage, she who would bear the master's child. I was powerless to stop the one who destroyed her.
Arapsis's eye twitches for a moment, almost imperceptibly for a moment. And then they kind of stop and chuckle for a moment. I'm sorry. What do you mean? What happens
that you know.
Morvik looks very nervously at the purple tiefling, as if afraid to continue.
No. And Arapsis steps right in front of him. I need you to look at me. And I need you to tell me what you know about my mother.
The moon elf. She wanted to be the master's bride. But she was not destined to be the one to bear his child. And when she found out who she was, she destroyed her.
Who is the moon elf?
This time he looks nervously at Ilyana. Astrala. Sidian Astrala. And at that, Ilyana's eyes go wide. And she looks at Uldren and she goes, she's the leader of the Moon House. She was the one I answered to. The one that our daughter answers to.
One big happy family.
I would say that you need to send your daughter a message.
Hi, kitty.
That did come through that time.
The
Yeah, that
fucking
came
total
through.
immersion point. Send a message to your daughter.
Thank you, Agatha, for that little bit of tension break.
Tension is out the window.
That's
Right.
the actual message that you send.
So my question is anything out there you need to get, Morvik? Because there's a lot of stuff out there. And I point to, his study room or whatever the room we came from.
Well, not exactly that room.
Hey, Zedit, can you step out the door for a second? Let him get through so he can try to go get what he needs.
And he kind of awkwardly heads back out into the hallway.
Uldren, follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch
gonna
as
take a
he
weird
very
keep an eye on everything.
somehow, as awkward as he is, nimbly stepping over the hands moving about the floor, and he walks over to a bookcase on the far side of the wall. And you watch as he pokes several volumes in some order, and you hear a click.
That issue keeping up.
Greed.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on what he did to the bookshelf.
You definitely pick up on the sequence of books, and you hear the door in front of you click.
Arapsis, let's stick right here for a minute. Why don't you keep on perusing and make sure our little friend in here doesn't go very far.
I need you to understand for a moment the gravity of this for me.
Yeah, just stay right here, dude. Hang out. Relax.
Dorian, what's your passive perception?
13.
Okay, Arapsis, you hear the scratch of chalk. Seems to be coming from behind Vladis. His hands currently just tucked behind his back in what seems to be a formal position. However, you hear the scratch of chalk on stone behind him.
Well, Vladis, in all of this time, you've been helping him to be here.
Yes.
So, I guess you wouldn't be working for him, would you?
Him? You mean Morvik?
Correct.
Less working, more protecting him from himself.
Oh, interesting. Interesting assignment.
For a man who can't die, he has tried and tried. As many ways as a man can think of to end his life. The psychological impact of such a thing is heavy, to say the least.
Arapsis smiles. Oh, really? Is the implication of living forever difficult for some? I hadn't noticed. But there's, well, one small detail in all of that. You see, that means you're the one keeping him alive.
Me?
Now, that's what you just said, isn't it? You just said that your job is to help keep him alive, to protect him from himself. So that tells me, like I said, that this is an assignment.
I mean, I suppose if you put it that way, that would be correct.
And so let's be a little clearer then. What exactly did my father tell you to do?
We'll come back to that in just a moment. Uldren, you hear the door in front of you unlock. Ilyana just behind you, Tim and Zedish on the other side of the room. Morvik kind of shuffles over and pulls the door ajar. And as you peek inside, you see glowing red circle in the center of an empty room.
Morvik,
Yes.
what the hell is that? Like pointing to the room.
It is how I've been worshipping the Master. How I have tried to talk to him after all of this time, hoping that maybe someday he would forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
Tim will take a step forward and he puts his hands together, palms together, and then spreads them out wide, palms forward, and says, Tempus Frigidus, and turns them counterclockwise and casts Time Stop.
Please proceed.
So time freezes for everybody. And Tim will look around the room at everyone and back through the door behind him and say, I am truly very sorry, my friends, for my deception. I did not wish to deceive you, and I do swear that I always mean you no harm. And at that point, he looks a little fuzzy, as if he's going blurry. Back to you, nerd.
Uldren, frozen where you are, looking into the room, you watch as the sigil begins to glow brighter, the center of it turning to a black, inky void. And you watch as Tim walks across the floor. And his form begins to change. And please tell me I put this in here. Of course I didn't. Why would I prepare?
We can hear all that.
I'm fully aware. You watch as Tim's appearance begins to shift and the blue skin fades to red and the hair seems to recede almost back into the scalp to a bald form, well-dressed, red-skinned tiefling, and he steps into the room and traces a finger along the outside of the circle before reaching through with a shadowy hand and pulling a very familiar young girl through. As you watch Princess Azura step through.
Oh, my dear. Please tell me you are all right.
I'm okay, Captain Howdy. It's okay. I'm free now.
That's my good little Zuzu. And he gives her a pat on the head. That's so good. Good to hear. He will sit there and kind of dote on her for a moment, like messing with her hair and like playful, almost like a big brother would to a little sister. You have done so very well. You're a very, very good girl.
I did what you told me. I let go.
Yes, you did. You did beautifully. Thank you, my dear. And you will be rewarded. And he kind of flips her chin with one finger. Yes, my friends, I am very sorry to have deceived you, but I can't very well walk around in my true form. Let me introduce myself. I am the Dark Lord, the creator of flame and shadow. Yes, father of desire creator of lust. I am Raz'athoth. And yes, Arapsis, I am your father. And I am so very proud of who you have become. In fact, I am quite proud and impressed by each of you. He will go over to Zedish, and he will kind of cup under her chin with one finger. You are truly very special and good for my child. Believe in yourself and trust your gut, child. You are quite impressive. I do not hold any ill will towards you based on your paragon. No. You have operated in the world based on the information you had. But I assure you all, no matter what you have been taught, no matter what you have heard, I am not your enemy. Far from it. It is the gods that toy with mortals, that view you as beneath them. It is they who wish to impose artificial morality on existence. I created choice. I created dreams and inspiration. In fact, I am older than the gods, and I was the one who inspired them to create in the first place. But I did not want this, as he gestures around himself at the world. No. I wanted so much more beautiful things. You, Arapsis, and he will walk all the way over to Arapsis. You must have the book. Unlock its power. It is your destiny to unlock your full potential and choose your path. Whatever you choose is yours. You see, I give choice, not demands. You can remake the world with that book. Just think what you could do with it. Create a world of beauty, a world of such love, a world without artificial constraints. Think of the people you could help. Think of Wenrish. You could have them back. You could have them all back. That is your destiny. To choose. I really do wish you all the very best. You have been incredibly, incredibly impressive. And he will move over to Uldren and Ilyana, and he will place a hand on each of their shoulders. I do love watching your determination, and I do hate to see your suffering. He will turn to Morvik. And you, my servant. Yes, all those years ago you did let me down. But your punishment is nearly at an end. If you will help my friends here find the Necronomicon, then you shall receive your reward.
Thank you, Master.
You shall be allowed to rest. And then you shall truly have your reward and sit at my side. Huh. Speaking of which, and he goes back to the portal and traces it again with his finger and uses a couple of gestures over it, and the portal changes. Do you want to describe that scene, nerd?
This time, you see a different hand reach through the portal. And Uldren, you see a face that you've not seen in days, though very much etched into your mind, as Siobhan is pulled through the portal.
Oh, yes, my dear. Didn't I tell you it would be a lot more fun talking than fighting?
Yes, darling.
I offer you now, Siobhan, a choice. I can return you to your mortal, normal life. Or you can come with me and sit by my side.
You watch as Siobhan leans over to Azura and... Would you like that, princess? To be a family? I think I would. And it is settled.
Beautiful. Then it is settled. And he will modify the portal once more. And through it they see. Back to you, nerd.
A dark, infernal landscape. And a black obsidian tower. As the three of them step into Infernia, the portal closing behind them.
As it does, Raz'athoth says one last thing. Oh yes, and a parting gift. And he snaps his fingers, and the portal changes. A portal somewhere safe. As it closes, a different one opens.
And he steps through and disappears, and you see, as the time stop spell comes to an end, a portal with a red blood moon above it and wind blowing through cherry blossom trees. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.